Peninsula Credit Union offers time to 501c3 nonprofits to get their message out on iFiber One News Radio. Here's one of those conversations. Well, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey here on Daybreak. I've got two great guests in studio to talk about a wonderful program here in the South Sound and parts of Mason County and beyond. It's Sound Learning, and in the air, or on the air with me, I should say, we have the Executive Director, Sue Ickes and Shannon Klasell. Good morning to you both. How you doing?
Oh, good morning. I'm doing great.
Nice to talk with you both. And got an email from you talking about we are up and coming with some new programs before too long. So we're going to get the word out. So let's start with that. And what's been going on with Sound Learning? What are we looking forward to?
Well, our newest program has actually started already. We have a new class called, we are calling it the Bridge class.
Okay.
And it's a class that meets in the evening. And the idea is that what we realize is there are a lot of people in the community who are not native English speakers. They're very high-level English language learners who want to move on in their learning because all those basics are in place. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to put an evening class together that mixes the people who are native English speakers and looking for a GED or a High School 21 or just, broaden their learning and academic abilities for trainings and work, and have the English language learners in there as well. So it jumps them up and really intensifies their learning in a lot of different ways. So we meet 3 nights a week this summer.
Wow.
From 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. And we got the opportunity to do this because Green Diamond Resource gave us a grant.
Nice.
And we had a private individual match that. So we have the opportunity to pilot it this summer.
It's a pretty intensive class, 3 days a week for
yes.
a few hours every day.
Yeah, it is intensive, and it's interesting because what's happening, and we'd really like to get more students involved so that we can keep it going in the future. But what's happening is that what we're seeing is that the high-level English language learners and native English speakers are getting together in ways that we don't see if we just have an English class or a math class. That I have like these two men who one's going for his diploma, and the other and one's an English speaker, and he speaks Mom and Spanish, and he's also English.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden they bonded around the idea of math, and to see him talking about problem solving, and the one the English language learner student was speaking in ways that often you don't get to in our community because we separate our classes and we do this, and certain groups go to certain churches and that sort of thing. So it's been pretty exciting, and some of that's even happening in our regular, our other more standard class in the mornings, that we're getting more people who are high-level English language learners that are really not at the basics anymore. And so the interaction is starting to happen in all new ways, and it's pretty exciting for their education and also for just learning about people.
That does sound like the Bridge class. Very cool. So it's going on now, and hopefully we'll be able to think about this into the fall or
I would love to be able to continue it. Yes, we're going, and we're taking new students. We don't just say, we started so you can't join.
Right.
Anybody can join this summer, certainly, and we'd like to be able to keep it going forward.
Sue, what else is going on? Looks like a fall class coming up with the Shelton School District as well. What are some of the other things that you guys are working on?
We're very excited about that. It's going to be called the Newcomer Class.
Okay.
And it is designed for immigrants that are between the age of 16 and 20 years and 11 months and 29 days. Uh-huh. They have to be under 21 in order to get into it. And it is in conjunction with the Shelton School District, because one of the things that is happening is when we have a lot of immigrants in that age group, we find that they're working during the day instead of being able to go to high school, and because we've also teamed up with Gravity, so it's a 3-way combination here, and because Gravity doesn't have anyone that can address the English as a second language issue for these students, so we're going to be providing those classes for them, and we're going to offer them in the evening which is also very unique for that age group,
Sure.
because usually you don't have the young adults and teenagers in that age group for those times. And this will be, what they will be doing is, to begin with, we'll be working on English language acquisition, and then we will also be building in high school classes. So there will be social studies and math and history and civics and all the things that the high school students normally have to take.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing we're not going to have is PE. So no running around the track. Although we are going to try to plan a quarterly social group where we have a picnic, or they get out and they do something and mix them with other groups.
Sure, that
and
stuff's important too.
Right, because you need to integrate them into the community as well as get them ahead. And so the goal is to get these students, if they can't get quite to the high school diploma based, because if they're 20, they're not going to make it in this class, but then to move them on to our other classes.
Okay.
And on to Gravity's classes. So we're going to be working together to build this really strong class. And so this starts September 5th, and we're very excited about this collaboration. We see a lot of good things coming out of it.
That's just, I mean, you got other great classes as well for students. You were talking to me a little bit about the ABE classes. These are small class sizes, tutors able to work one-on-one with folks. Tell me more about this.
Well, yeah, our classes, our programming that we've been doing for a lot of years now, with both what we call ABE, or Adult Basic Education, which would include high school 21 diploma seekers, GED diploma seekers, and even our English language learners in the same model. Whether it's a large class or a small class, it gets broken down into small groups so that we have volunteer tutors, trained community volunteers, and paid staff who are doing instruction for all of the classes. And so we're still offering those classes morning and evening now, because we can mix with the bridge to the English language bridge to basic skills class. And the great thing about those classes is that our goal, besides academic skills and all of that, one main goal is to help people become independent learners, like how to learn something new. And so you gain a lot of socialization skills and how to work as a team and how to find information and how to decide if it's good information, and job skills and that sort of thing as you're improving your math or your social studies or English or whatever. So we're still doing that, both mornings, and then our English language learning classes, the bigger group is in the evenings.
Lots of offerings from Sound Learning. You guys going to do anything for the Bite this Thursday?
We'll be there. We're having our booth this Thursday. We've got a couple of sort of games, activities that I think will be a lot of fun. But of course, they're a little bit nerdy because we're in education.
Yeah.
But hopefully, they're not too nerdy. And we have a few books. We have books that we give away, and people give us gently used books, and we give them back. So we'll be there.
Nice, and people get information on all these programs.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff. Soundlearning.co, the website, also on social media. You can find them on Facebook. Just search for Sound Learning, or at the bottom of the website, you can find the link there. It's 133 West Railroad Avenue here in Shelton, and the phone number now, 360. You got to remember, you got to start dialing these 3-digit area codes, right? 360-426-9733. Sue, Shannon, thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. And if I can add just one more little thing. We are in desperate need of volunteers.
Oh, okay.
So we need volunteers to help us in all aspects of what we do. We need tutoring volunteers, and we train. You don't have to come in as a teacher or anything else. We train you. We get you going, and it's very rewarding for people. You can do it one-on-one. You can help in the larger classes. There's a lot of opportunities, and we also need event volunteers. We work the Oyster Fest, we volunteer there, and so our volunteers help us. The Bite.
Come on down, start working on Thursday.
And of course, Great Old Celebration in May.
Yes.
So we need volunteers, and if you want to just feel good about doing something, come on see us, and we'll be at the Bite. Stop by our booth, and we'll be glad to tell you about it, or stop by the office.
Great organization, Sound Learning. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jeff, for having us.
Again, thanks to Peninsula Credit Union for offering up time on iFiber One News Radio's Daybreak for 501c3 nonprofit organizations who want to get their message out to you. If you're a nonprofit who'd like to get a word out, email Jeff at ifiber1.com.